So I know oftentimes we seek high quality at an inexpensive price tag, and I think that that's all the time if we're being honest. Well, here we have a fragrance by an indie brand called Good Vibes Perfume, and this fragrance is called Caribbean Lime. I'm really impressed by the quality of this fragrance, and also a 10 ml travel spray is only like 23 bucks. I think for the price point and what is available, it's a no-brainer. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's video on Caribbean Lime by Good Vibes Perfume, and I tell you all about this fragrance, the notes, the smell, the longevity, the performance, comparisons to other fragrances, so on and so forth, I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today or if you took something of value from today's episode. Now, this is an indie release, and I actually have two from the brand, and I look forward to reviewing the other one in the months to come, let's say. But I was purposely waiting on reviewing this one because, as the name implies, this is a citrus-based fragrance. So you have the lime, you have the bergamot, you have the neroli, you have a lot of really bright ingredients in here, and I thought it would be quite apropos for the hotter weather. And today it's in the 80s. I think it's like 84 or 86 degrees today. Perfect fragrance to wear on a day like this, and the concentration for this one is quite strong as well. Now, what really impressed me about this one is, you know, with a name like Caribbean Lime, I actually thought it was going to be more of like a Virgin Island water, coconut, tropical kind of a fragrance. That's not what you're going to get from this. So this is actually a take on the classic cologne genre. And so if you're familiar with those vetiver, lavender, bright cologne, earthy, dried down types of fragrances, that's what you're going to get with this fragrance. And I was really impressed by the quality because I can actually compare it to some really expensive designer and niche fragrances on the market, and I don't think the quality is inferior in any way. And if anything, the quality is matched. And so for the price point, I think it's a great deal. Let's go ahead and start things off with the presentation. So right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to be met with this beautiful citrus, green, and earthy sort of agreste accord. You have the lavender in there, you have the vetiver, and right away I thought traditional men's cologne genre kind of a fragrance. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of a fragrance that I love so much, and I've been wearing it religiously lately. This one reminds me a lot of New York Intense by Nicolai. So this fragrance has that sort of bright, clean, citrusy, slightly woodsy, earthy, vetiver vibe about it. There's also this rose ingredient in here. I'm not getting a whole lot of rose, but I am getting a lot of citrus and lavender with this green, earthy dry down. Now, if you're a fan of fragrances like New York Intense by Nicolai, you're gonna love this one. If you like Scandal by Roja Parfum, you're gonna love this one. If you like the original Eau Sauvage by Christian Dior, you're gonna love this one. This is the style that you can expect when wearing this fragrance. And as a matter of fact, as I'm wearing it, that bright citrusy quality, you expect it to taper off after an hour or two, right? In some cases, after 30 minutes. This lingers for like 2-3 hours. So I love that enduring quality of the citrus with that green earthy texture and the dry down. So this is not a tropical fragrance. This is the type of fragrance you want to wear to church on Sunday when you're wearing your Sunday's best, suit and tie situation, formal occasion. You want to be the best smelling person in the room. And I've smelled many other casual fragrances when it comes to citrus-based fragrances. It's really how you pair the citrus with those earthy notes, or in this case, that lavender in the heart, that kind of gives it this barbershop vibe. And the reason I say cologne is because it has the neroli, it is heavy-handed on the citrus, and that's why it leans more in the way of that genre as opposed to like a fougere, right? So in the fougere genre, you can expect more of like the lavender and some of those other green notes, but very well done. I'm super happy to have this one in my collection. I know I always say that, but as a collector, I love trying new things. And here we have an expression of a traditional genre. And if you like any of the aforementioned fragrances, chances are you're gonna really enjoy this one too. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, like I said, it does kind of remind me of fragrances like New York Intense by Nicolai, Eau Sauvage by Christian Dior, Scandal by Roja Parfum, but of course it does things in its own way. And none of those other fragrances that I mentioned smell similar to one another, but they're different expressions of the same genre. The longevity of this fragrance is about 8 hours on the skin, and I was also really impressed by how long the citrus lasted in this fragrance, and the projection for this one was great for the first hour and a half of application. For the first 45 minutes to an hour, it actually did radiate beyond an arm's length, and it didn't start to sit closer to the skin until about hour 6 or 7, and right around hour 10, it completely disappeared. So the performance on this one is very good. In terms of the versatility, I do think it leans a little bit traditionally masculine. I think this one will probably appeal to somebody who's a little bit older, given the fact that it falls within that traditional cologne genre, especially if it's somebody who grew up wearing an Eau Sauvage by Dior. I think they're gonna love this fragrance. And I think this one is great for formal occasions, but personally, because of the price point, I would wear it casually as well. The presentation for this one is rather minimalist, and I'm sure stock bottles and stock hardware, but it keeps the cost down, and that also contributes to the affordability of the fragrance. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are a fan of that traditional cologne genre and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, I think for this size, it's in the $70 range, but if you want to buy a 10 ml travel atomizer, it's going to be like $22.99. So if you're looking for a high quality cologne genre fragrance that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, definitely check out Caribbean Lime by Good Vibes Perfume. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this review, or if you took something of value from today's episode, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do upload videos to the channel, and I upload on a daily basis. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today, or simply if you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.